Hi everyone, let's talk about Margraves of Valeria, which again is on Kickstarter right now. Link in the description for the campaign page, and anything you saw in the playthrough is a prototype, remember. So, we really love the world of Valeria, especially Valeria Card Kingdoms, the first one. Still, yeah, we really love that game, and it's been expanded out. It's kind of the genre of games that started out with Machikoro, where you roll dice and try and get cards of the same number to get loads of resources and stuff. And I like that the kind of, the setting has stayed the same. It's all in this interconnected world, but a lot of very different games. Villages of Valeria was a video of mine from a while ago. And so now, I don't think we ever played Quests, but now we have Margraves of Valeria. And this is quite different to the other two that we've played. They're all different in their own way, but this is a bigger experience. It's a bit of a race, although it hasn't got, it hasn't got entirely the feel of a race game, but you are going towards that thing. You can see where people are going towards, getting a load of citizens, towards trying to just get their towers out to end the game. You are, constantly aware of what other people are doing because it affects you for better or for worse. There aren't, you aren't getting in the way. I think this is the first one where there isn't anything direct in the prototype anyway. There isn't anything where you're directly affecting the other player in terms of stealing stuff from them. In this, you are you want to be moving around. You want to be moving the knights around to be getting all of the free benefits from all of the locations on the map. You want to be putting knights in strategic places so you can go over there and hopefully fight some things. But at the same time, you have to watch out for who you are helping out with these actions, because you sending a knight over to this city because you need to exchange resources to get a gem so you can build a tower next turn. That's all very well and good, but what if I'm already in that city and I couldn't do my great big fighting action because I was one strength short? But wow, this knight magically appears and now my thing can change. Or you're sending them to a place that you think's safe, but I've actually got a ranger card that lets me move and then kill a monster. So you have to be aware of these. And the hero tombs is a beautiful little element where you use the knights to get extra strength to help out in your battles, and then they go in the hero tombs. That's like a little logic puzzle kind of grid where if you fill in a row or column, you'll get a benefit, and the rows and columns that take more knights to fill up give you the better benefits. So as soon as one person gets any benefit, a load of others have been made easier for you, to the point where the person that fills in the grid often gets a huge pile of incentives for probably only putting down 2 or 3 knights to finish that off. And it's full of things like that where you are constantly aware of, this is the big picture thing I want to get done. I'm working towards getting my tower here. But oh wow, you've fought that monster now and you've revealed this monster that I can fight. And if I do it, I can use enough knights to fill up the hero tombs that will get me all of these benefits, and then not only can I still do my tower in a couple of turns' time, now I'll have all of these things left over to plan ahead for future turns or to be ready to build my next tower. And the core thing of the influence works beautifully, where you are progressing along these influence tracks and you get rewarded for that through a lot of different ways. You are being rewarded for the tower, and for getting for fighting the monsters, and from the prestige tokens that are also ever changing, and you have to be that can suddenly make you change your plans as well. There's a lot of building up for big things over the course of the game, but constantly having to do U-turns because a brilliant thing has been uncovered for you. But the big picture of trying to build up these symbols, not just in the influence track and progressing in that and having to keep money available. If you really want to go down one path, you're going to have a lot of money available to keep going past the checkpoints on there. But spreading yourself out too thin is a lot cheaper, but it's probably not going to result in you getting as many points unless you can really, really go heavily into getting a load of citizens. But to do that, you're probably going to need a lot of money, unless you get... There is one card type, I think, in there that I don't think came out in the playthrough that lets you get a citizen card for free. Usually you have to pay gold for most of the other times. But it's that lovely system as well, the Concordia system, where you have a hand of cards and you can do anything in there, but those cards are gone as they get used. And it's a bit different. You don't play a card to get them all back. You can play any card to get them all back. But if you leave yourself with one card in your hand, that's all you can do. And often that is, a really frustrating thing. Usually that comes in the turn that you're about to do something amazing, and then you realize that, oh no, I left myself with one card. Why did I do this? Now the other person can swoop in and do it. Maybe the game's going to get ended underneath me. Yeah, it's so good. I really, really love it. And bear in mind, I've only played a prototype. Things might change from the final thing. I think it's a little bit longer than the other Valeria games, but it's still just over an hour, probably. It's still quite a snappy thing for the much tougher decisions often, because you are always trying to weigh out what's good for you without helping out everybody too much. And I love that is done without any negative interaction, because we're not fans of that at all. And it just shows how you can have such an interactive game. I was saying game and way at the same time. It's interesting in the same way I was talking about Foothills. I got distracted thinking about another game. In the same way that I said about Foothills a few weeks ago, it's good how you can have such a closely interactive game, a game where you have to be involved so heavily in all of these turns in a two-player game, in a head-to-head way, without having any, demolishing stuff or stealing stuff. And it just proves that it can be done beautifully and isn't lacking anything for it. The two-player game itself, I've only played it at 2 players. As I mentioned in the playthrough, with more players, you get more copies of the cards and more privilege tokens and stuff. It's a very tight game with 2 players, and that's done through the resources being really limited is a really nice touch, because you can try and hold on to these things if you want to stop other people building towers. As Marcy tried in the playthrough, you can hoard one resource to stop anyone else getting it. But if you want to progress yourself, you're probably going to have to give that up. If you want to build it's great holding on to that, but it means you can't build towers yourself if you want to hold on to all of those. And so you have to time when you were going to give these things up. But you can't know what everyone else has got in their hands if they're going to have a card that lets them get the particular resource they need. But it is a game where you don't have to necessarily have a card that gets you resources. You can have a card that is going to just move your Margrave or move a knight instead. There are a lot of ways to get what you want done. And then another thing that we haven't really explored very much in the playthrough or our normal games, our normal games have been really heavy on monster slaying, and maybe that's just the cards that came out and just me really wanted to slay a load of monsters. But the other part is the shipping track. That's it's another way of if you can't build the towers, or you could just keep getting resources through deploying a load of knights and stuff and getting them from fighting monsters sometimes, but just keep doing that shipping action and keep going around in circles. That's a way of getting influence and a load of money and a load of the prestige tokens that can give you huge benefits, especially those level 2 ones. If you just go all the way around it and get a level 2 one, that can be like 6 strength or 12 gold or something. It can be a really big deal, but it's one that I don't feel that we've explored enough in our playthroughs yet. But this is just a prototype thing, isn't it? So hopefully we'll explore it with the final game. But I'm going on about this enough. I'm going to repeat myself soon. The playthrough is the important thing though, and hopefully you've seen that, and that's already helped you decide whether or not you're interested in Margraves of Valeria. Thanks for watching this. If you'd like to see another, there's hundreds of playthroughs on this channel. Surely there's another one that you will find interesting. But like, subscribe for more YouTube things. Tell other people about the channel. Share the word. Spread the word. Bye everyone.